Om Shanti. This is the Avyakt Murli of 28th of November 1979, and the title is How to Remain Free While Living at Home with Your Family. Today, Bap Dada was seeing a particularly special group of his long lost and now found children of the previous gulp. Out of multi-millions, they are the new from the handful who know the Father and claim their inheritance from Him. Which group would that be? Today, Baba was specially observing the children who live at home with their family. He also observed the homes of all the families. He looked at the places where they interact with one another. While observing the families, Baba also saw what influences there are of the impure elements and the adverse situations, and what influences there are of the kingdom. While observing this, Baba also saw the wonders of some children, of how they remained unattached while living at home with their families. Those who can balance their freedom with their family life are playing a very good and elevated part. They play their part very well with Baba as their constant companion and by remaining detached observers. They have become examples in the front of the world because they constantly stay under the canopy of protection of Baba's remembrance. They remain constantly protected from any type of war that Maya can wage and any type of Maya's attractions. When Baba sees such spiritual and special children, he constantly sings songs of their praise. Baba also saw some other children who live at home with their family. Because the children have an honest heart, the Lord is always pleased with them. Because they know the secret of remaining loving and detached, they are always happy with themselves and also keep their families happy. Bap Dada too is always happy with them. Children who are raazyukt, one who understands all secrets, and who constantly keep themselves and everyone else happy, don't need to hire a counselor, kaazi, either for themselves or for others. They have no case in which they would need to have a counselor. Many times you would have heard the saying, when the husband and wife are happy together, what can a third person do? You must have experienced many cases where your own sanskars argue with yourself, where they keep a debate going on within yourself. Is this right or wrong? Should this happen or not? How far should this happen? This debate would constantly go on inside you. When you are not able to decide for yourself, you have to make someone else your officer. For some, it would be for a small matter, and for others, it would be for a big matter. However, if you and the Father were to make the decision together, everything would be finished within a second, and there would then be no need to have a counselor, a judge, or a lawyer. One of the laws of a family is that when something happens in a family, the parents would not allow the news of it to reach their children, would discuss it amongst themselves, and then bury it or accommodate it within themselves. If the news of the situation reached a third person, it would definitely spread. And the more something spreads, the more damage it causes. The more a physical fire spreads, the more damage it would cause. All these small matters are like fires of the different vices. A fire would be extinguished there and then and not allowed to spread. In your family, only you and the father should know about anything that happens. It should not reach a third person, even though that one may be close and even within the family. Husband and wife should become happy with one another. To become upset, naraz, is the result of not knowing the secret, raz. It is when you haven't understood the secrets of knowledge that you become upset, either with yourself or with others. When you hire a lawyer, a small matter becomes a big case. Therefore, to relate anything to a third person means to spread the things of your own household outside. In the world nowadays, all the big legal cases are printed in the newspapers. Here too, they appear in the newspapers of the Brahmin family. Therefore, why don't you resolve it between yourselves, between just you and the Father? No third person should know anything of it. Some children have a thought that reaches Baba. They think that it's fine for husband and wife to settle everything. But sometimes, because the husband is incorporeal and the wife is corporeal, they don't get on so well. And this is why sometimes there is a meeting and sometimes there isn't. Sometimes the heart-to-heart conversation reaches Baba and sometimes it doesn't. That is, sometimes you don't receive any response, and this is why you have to have a counselor. However, you have found the husband who has many forms. Whatever form you want him to have, he can present him within a second in front of you in that form. However, you too have to become equal to the Father and adopt many forms. Baba can make you fly and take you with him to the subtle region within a second. Baba comes from the incorporeal world into the subtle world, and so you too can come from the corporeal to the subtle world. At least reach the venue. The venue also has to be beautiful. The subtle region, the angelic region, is the venue. The time for you is fixed. You've made the appointment. The venue is fixed. So why does the meeting not take place? The only mistake you make is that you want to take your clay with you. Your body is clay. When you have to work with your clay, then do so. However, at the time of the meeting, you have to renounce the consciousness of your body and put on the same dress as the Father wears. You have to be equal. Because Baba is incorporeal, he adopts an angelic costume. And so, the angelic one and the incorporeal one together become Bap Dada. You too have to put on your angelic dress and come here. Only when you wear your shining dress will the meeting take place. Do you not know how to put on this dress? As soon as you put on this dress, you can reach here. This dress is waterproof and fireproof against any form of Maya. It has also been made proof against the attitudes and vibrations of this old world. You have been given such a beautiful dress, and yet you don't put it on when you have your appointment. Do you love your old dress more? It looks very nice if both are wearing a shining dress when you are in the region of light. The couple would not seem well matched if one were wearing an old dress and the other one wearing a shining dress. It is because of this that you experience a meeting. The old vibrations interfere, and this is why you don't receive any response to your heart-to-heart conversation. It is because you are not able to understand clearly that you take some temporary support of others. In fact, this relationship of husband and wife should be so close and loving that you would be able to understand everything just through signals. Even more subtle than signals, you should be able to understand one another through your thoughts. Such should be your relationship of love. Then why do you allow a third person to come between you? To allow a third person to interfere means to waste your time and energy. Yes, you can tell another person what your heart-to-heart conversation was like. You can cooperate with one another on this level and share your experiences with one another. But you mustn't have a heart-to-heart conversation with a third person you have made your counselor. Don't talk to one another as though you have a case. So, let go of the counselor and make it up with one another and become happy. Since you have chosen your partner, why do you allow a third person to come between you? When you allow someone else to come between you, you end up nowhere, in the middle of the ocean. Then, because your husband has to make effort to save you, the task of the world transformation has to wait. Then you ask when destruction will take place. Since you, wives, are not yet ready, how can destruction take place? Do you now understand why destruction is not taking place? When you don't even know how to change your dress, how are you going to change the world? Acha. Baba will tell you about the condition of the householders at some other time. Today, Baba spoke to you of your internal household. To those who are constantly raazyukt and yukt, and who always have a close relationship, to those who are constantly happy and keep others happy, to those who are constantly able to celebrate a meeting, to the children who are detached observers and Baba's companions, Bab Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Elevated Avyakt versions of Bab Dada for the teachers. Teachers are the most elevated souls and are equal to the Father. Teachers should make a new plan every year. Even students are able to make service plans. So, what do the teachers especially have to do? Now create such a gathering that everyone says that although you are many, you are united. Didi and Dadi are separate from each other, and yet everyone experiences them to be one. Therefore, this makes a great impact on everyone, since they are two, and yet giving regard to one another, they are like one, and are visible to all others as one. All of you can also give the example of being united. Even though there are many of you, people say that all of you speak the same things. everyone speaks what one of them speaks. You all dress in the same way. The words you all speak are the same points of knowledge. Although the way you speak knowledge may differ from one another, the essence of it is the same. Similarly, you must become such a group that everyone says that all of you are united. This too will be a specialty. Someone should be the instrument to become a sample, and then others will follow. Whoever takes this initiative becomes Arjuna. Who will become Arjuna? Those who become Arjuna will receive the first prize. However, you do have to pay attention to something. What is that? What do you have to pay attention to? You have to cooperate with one another and see each other's specialties and not to see each other's weaknesses. Don't listen to them either. You will have to make this practice very firm. While seeing everyone, you must be able to accommodate the weaknesses of those souls and cooperate with them. You should not have any feeling of wanting to reject or disregard such souls, but have feelings of mercy for them. Just as you are merciful towards souls who are experiencing sorrow, so too you must become merciful towards those who have weaknesses. What will happen when you become merciful in this way? Although you are many, you will also become united. In the world outside, sensible and loving families accommodate the weaknesses of one another. They cooperate with one another and thereby glorify the family name. They would help a poor member of the family and give him what he needs. This too is a family. What should you do if some are influenced by their sanskars? Cooperate and encourage them, increase their enthusiasm, and make them your companion. Then, although there are many of you, all of you will be seen to be united. Is it difficult to do this? Since you are images that grant blessings, then such blessed souls as you do not look at anyone's weaknesses. So, what will you do? Drop such an atomic bomb and see what happens. This is the duty of you teachers. Just as Baba doesn't keep the children's weaknesses in his heart, but as the comforter of hearts comforts your heart, so too the teachers must become equal to the Father. Don't look at anyone's weaknesses. Instead of taking their weaknesses in your heart, comfort everyone's heart in the same way as the comforter of hearts does. Then everyone will sing songs of your praise. Then, no matter whether they are to become your companions or your subjects, blessings will emerge from the lips of all of them. Blessings should constantly emerge from them of your being constantly a very loving and cooperative soul, one who is equal to the Father, the comforter of hearts, and comforting their hearts. Only then would you be called a worthy teacher. If teachers continue to look at everyone's defects, what difference would there be between the students and the teachers? A teacher is one who is seated on the Father's gaddi. Therefore, now perform such wonders. Do you now understand who should be called a teacher? Anyone can claim a prize in this. A teacher should never speak of anyone's weaknesses. Teachers should only speak of specialties. A teacher means one who is equal to the Father in supporting those who don't have courage. Do you understand who is called a teacher? You are progressing well. Now create the essence of the gathering. Bab Dada meeting groups. What form does Bab Dada constantly see all of the children? Baba constantly sees the complete and perfect form of the children because he knows that although you may be fluctuating today, you will eventually become unshakable. You were this, and you have to play the same part and become perfect again. This fluctuation only comes in the middle. It didn't exist in the beginning, and it will not remain in the future. This is a matter of the middle period. Therefore, Baba constantly sees each of you children in your elevated form. You have stayed down below for so many births. For 63 births, you have been experiencing coming down. You have become tired while coming down, haven't you? Or do you still want to taste some more? You now have to constantly ascend. Your descent has finished. Only the confluence age is the age of ascent. It is after this age that you begin to descend. If you are going to continue to ascend and descend in this short time, then when do you think you will ascend? You tell others, if not now, then never. So why are you not aware of the same thing? When you are aware, you will constantly have an ascending stage and will really enjoy yourself. You will lack nothing in this life. In your future life, you will not even be aware of the contrast between having all attainments and no attainments. At this time, you are aware of both, and so the pleasure of it is experienced now. To become a Brahmin means to have no more desires. Since Baba has given you all treasures and also the key to the treasure store, why are you still asking for things? Are you hiding anything that you are asking for something? Baba has given you everything you need without your having to ask for it. Baba does not like it when you ask for something. Would it seem right if the child of the master of the world asks for something? Baba has already given you what you need. So, what are you going to do now? When you constantly maintain the intoxication of being the children of the master of the world, your begging for anything will stop. You now have to fly everywhere the flag of being the conquerors of Maya. When this flag is flying high, all other flags will come down. You are now pulling the cord of the flag. Then, when the flag is flying high, the flowers of revelation will shower down on everyone. Cooperate with one another and spread the vibrations of being a conqueror of Maya. Make your fortress strong. Make your fortress so strong that Maya has no courage to come. If she does come to someone, chase her away from a distance. Blessing, may you be an embodiment of success who uses the instrument of pure thoughts to experiment with the power of silence. The special instrument for the power of silence is pure thoughts. You can see whatever you want and become an embodiment of success by using the instrument of pure thoughts. First of all, experiment with this on yourself. Experiment with this on any physical illness, and then with the power of silence. Whatever karmic bondage you have will change into a sweet relationship. With the power of silence, you will experience the karma bhog, the severe bondage of karma, to be like a line drawn on water. So, use the power of silence to experiment on your body, mind, and sanskars, and become an embodiment of success. Slogan: remain aware that you are an ignited lamp of your Brahmin clan and glorify its name. Om Shanti.